Down Oulton Park, done.
Oulton Park done.
And that is the halfway point of the season. So two things to chat about. First of all, that last race, which is interesting, and then just a quick review of the first half, really.
Yeah, the last race, P6 for me, which was hard fought. Had a really good car early on, which is... sometimes these races can be a tale of two halves, especially in conditions like that. I think clearly we had a car that worked early on. We made good use of it to come through very quickly up to 6th from 10th. We had a good start, but then in the halfway point, clearly started to suffer with just a lack of grip as others around me started to find their feet. And in the end, I think a sensible position. You could have been 4th, 5th, 6th. I don't think we probably could have had much more. It was just, a bit of this, bit of that. Long safety car periods, but every position was hard fought. So yeah, pleased enough with the final race. A few mistakes from my side, which cost us a little bit at times, but got away with them, which is good. And then just a general roundup. I think it's been a very strong opening start to the season, and my qualifying record is really fantastic. Sort of leading the Saturdays for NAPA team, but Sundays could have been slightly better at times. Donington got off to a bit of a bad start, which was a bit of a shame with the initial puncture, but got a bit of luck as the safety car came out, and that allowed me to have a bit of a better end to the day. So, and then the big letdown and the big my big talking point of the first half is of course what happened at Grants. That was a big mistake from me. That was unforced and unnecessary and cost me a lot of points, probably 30 points over the course of the day, and they're 30 points that are very, very hard, in fact almost impossible to get back. So if you had 30 points on it where I am now, I think that's a much more representative situation of where I am in this championship. I do think the front two have got a little bit more. I'm doing everything I can to bridge the gap in terms of speed on the day, on the weekend, on Sundays especially. But I think third is a fair representation of where we're at. I think I am now third, but being third only by a couple of points is probably not as representative as what we've done over the first course of the season. So I think I've found myself into the right spot now, but obviously my job for the second half is certainly to try and reduce that deficit to the front, which will be incredibly difficult because it's two guys that almost have perfect weekends almost every time. And that's kind of where we are. So let's see what we can do with the second half. I think it's been strong, but there's been some mistakes that have crept in, and actually those mistakes have come from me, which is a shame because as a driver you kind of you always want to be able to say that your bit's pretty clean, but I think it's fair to say that my bit at the start of the year hasn't been as clean as I would like it to be.
Pretty much home circuit for you, Croft. So the sun's going to come out. You're going to have a break and come back revitalised.
Yeah, I think so. I think the plan is to get my head down, study a lot with the data, my engineers, and try and push forward for the second half. Come back with a bit of a renewed enthusiasm for it. I think we spoke of it before that I think today's been a strange day for me personally, and in terms of how I feel about what's happening at the moment with this championship. I'm not sure that this tyre rule is what we want, and my whole career has been based on trying to do the best job you can on a Saturday and always do the best job at any race at any time. And now we're at a situation where I'm conflicted because I don't think that's the right way to actually score the most points, which doesn't make sense to me. When the championship actually rewards someone doing a slightly worse job on a Saturday, that doesn't make sense to me, really. So yeah, just a little bit to go away and think about, and whether or not we need to start sort of having is there a way we can help ourselves a little bit? Maybe we can, because all these Q3s that we're trying to get into, we also burn tyres getting into them. Like, do we need to do that? Should we actually play a longer game, figure it out? I don't know. There's a lot to think about, a lot more strategy than maybe what people give it credit for at the moment. So yeah, we'll go away and assess what might have been and how we think we should tackle the second half.
Enjoy the break.
Thank you.